We are live on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. My name is Douglas Jonas, head of ETFs here, and I'm joined with a good friend of mine, Graham Day, Vice President of ETFs at Innovator. Graham, let's jump right into it. You guys have had a series of new products coming out, these Defined Outcome series. Could you explain a little bit about what that means?
Yeah, so Defined Outcome investing has been around for decades. And one of the things that we've seen is it's been available in other structures, but not in the ETF structure. And Defined Outcome investing allows an investor to know before they purchase what their relative performance will be to a benchmark index, say the MSCI Emerging Markets Index or the MSCI EFA Index. And it's incredibly valuable because it allows an investor to be able to narrow the potential outcomes that they may experience over a defined outcome period.
Yeah, could you go a little deeper in that? What does it mean when we say defined outcome, especially for an exchange-traded fund?
Yeah, and it's really different when it comes to ETFs. Typically, ETFs are sold based off of past performance. Defined outcome investing in the ETF vehicle means that an investor can purchase an ETF and at that time know exactly what their upside performance will be, what their downside buffer they may have relative to a benchmark index over a set period of time. And that's never been available before in the ETF structure to have a known downside buffer.
We always talk about ETFs down here and how they bring new investing to everyone because it really democratizes access.
Yeah.
What is it that makes these products, how do they align with the benefits, let's say, of maybe a structured product or something that was used differently than an ETF?
Yeah, like I said, defined outcome investing has been around for decades in structured products, in insurance products. But what we've found is that by placing these payoffs into the ETF wrapper, that solves for a lot of the problems that advisors have had with those other structures. Credit risk, illiquidity, surrender charges, a lot of those products are sold off on a commission. The ETF takes all of those problems off the table. It adds liquidity, it's 100% fee-based, there's no credit risk, and because of that, we think that it offers advisors a ton of benefits relative to these other structures.
Okay, so we're talking about defined outcomes, but do they mature? Is there an end date on these ETFs?
Yeah, so when we launch these products, they have a 1-year outcome period tied to them. At the end of that 1-year outcome period, an investor doesn't have to do anything if they don't want to. The ETF will simply rebalance into a new set of 1-year options, and there will be a new 1-year outcome period. So they rebalance on an annual basis, but an ETF holder can hold these indefinitely.
Now, I know with the balance periods, there's different information that as an investor you want to go and probably research. Where do people go?
Yeah, so we always talk to advisors, and given the liquidity of these, they have questions about, how do I use them after the ETF has come out during the outcome period? And what we tell them is come to our website. We built what we think is a pretty cool tool called our web pricing tool that allows an advisor to know at any point during the outcome period how much upside remaining he has, what his downside buffer is, and how much time is remaining in the outcome period. And we think that's incredibly valuable to the advisor so that he can customize these outcomes to his client's needs.
So Graham, how often on that web page that you can go, how often is it being updated?
Yeah, so really great. Intraday, every 10 to 15 minutes, these prices are being updated so that an advisor doesn't have to wait till the end of the day. They can come to our website at any point and know exactly what their outcomes will be.
Very good. So if you're at home and you're thinking about the Defined Outcome ETFs or Innovator ETFs in general, go to innovatoretfs.com.
You got it.
And update it every 10 to 15 minutes. Graham, thank you very much for joining us. Those of you, thanks for tuning in live from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, the home of ETFs.